welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, November 18th, 2024. Today we're going to do NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, soccer, golf, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start the NFL. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's Monday night game. It was a great day yesterday for the league. Steelers over the Ravens, 18-16. Lions over the Jags, 52-6. Rams over the Patriots, 28-22. Saints over the Browns, 35-14. Colts over the Jets, 28-27. Vikings over the Titans, 23-13. Dolphins over the Raiders, 34-19. Packers over the Bears, 20-19. Broncos over the Falcons, 38-6. Seahawks over the 49ers, 20-17. Bills over the Chiefs, 30-21. Chargers over the Bengals, 34-27 on Sunday Night Football. Fab 5 was 4-1. Moneyline hit too, so it was a very good Sunday for yours truly. 8:15, ABC and ESPN, Texans, Cowboys from Arlington. My line's Texans by 7, total 46 3/4. And it is, let's see here, Houston giving 7.5, totals 41.5. I like the over, even though the Cowboys are starting Cooper Rush. And the over pick is more about how bad the Cowboys defense is and how I think the Texans can expose that. So I'm going to go over 41.5 in this spot. All right, now move on to college football. We will look at the results from the weekend. We will begin with Friday. Colorado State over Wyoming, 24-10. UTSA over North Texas, 48-27. Washington over UCLA, 31-19. Arizona over Houston, 27-3. And then Saturday, number 2, Ohio State over Northwestern, 31-7. Number 3, Texas over Arkansas, 20-10. Number 17, Colorado over Utah, 49-24. Number 20, number 20, Clemson over Pitt, 24-20. Number 25, Tulane over Navy, 35-0. Liberty over UMass, 35-34 in overtime. Louisiana Tech over Western Kentucky, 12-7. Auburn over Yale Monroe, 48-14. Marshall over Coastal Carolina, 31-19. Kentucky over Murray State, 48-6. Number 10, Alabama over Mercer, 52-7. Jacksonville State over FIU, 34-31. Temple over FAU, 18-15. Illinois over Michigan State, 38-16. Syracuse over Cal, 33-25. St. Houston over Kennesaw State, 23-17 at OT. Utah State over Hawaii, 55-10. Number 4, Penn State over Purdue, 49-10. Number 8, Notre Dame over Virginia, 35-14. Number 14, SMU over BC, 38-28. Stanford over number 19, Louisville, 38-35. Florida over number 22, LSU, 27-16. Air Force over Oregon State, 28-0. South Florida over Charlotte, 59-24. USC over Nebraska, 28-20. Baylor over West Virginia, 49-35. Troy over Georgia Southern, 28-20. James Madison over Old Dominion, 35-32. Number 21, South Carolina over number 23, Missouri, 34-30. Arkansas State over Georgia State, 27-20. Rutgers over Maryland, 31-17. Number 13, Boise State over San Jose State, 42-21. Arizona State over number 16, Kansas State, 24-14. South Alabama over Louisiana, 24-22. Texas State over Southern Miss, 58-3. Number 1, Oregon over Wisconsin, 16-13. Number 12, Georgia over number 17, Tennessee. Or number 7, Tennessee, 31-17. Number 15, Texas A&M over New Mexico State, 38-3. North Carolina over Wake Forest, 31-24. Iowa State over Cincinnati, 34-17. Memphis over UAB, 53-18. New Mexico over number 18, Washington State, 38-35. Kansas over number 6, BYU, 17-13. And ULV over San Diego State, 41-20. So you have it for college football. Now we'll do college basketball from the weekend. We'll look back on notable results and look ahead to the slate for tonight. We'll begin with the notables from Friday night. Greenbrier tip-off, River Division, Texas Rio Grande over Charleston Southern, 86-76. Greenbrier tip-off, River Division, 10 Tech over VMI, 72-71. Urban Bennett Invitational, Stone over New Orleans, 80-54. College Hill Classic, Holy Cross over Sacred Heart, 82-75. Bronco Classic, SEO Edwardsville over Worcester, Michigan, 79-60. Rockville Classic, Winthrop over William & Mary, 86-85. Hall of Fame Series in Baltimore, Virginia over Villanova, 70-60. Number 20, Florida over Florida State, 87-74. Michigan over TCU, 76-64. Number 24, Rutgers over Monmouth, 98-81. Number 13, Purdue over number 2, Alabama, 87-78. Number 17, Cincinnati over Nicholls, 86-49. Field of 68 tip-off, Charleston over FAU, 119-116 in double overtime on a buzzer beater in double overtime by Ante Brzovic. Furman over Tulane, 75-67. Belmont over Air Force, 79-71. Urban Bennett Invitational, Robert Morris over Lindenwood, 67-53. South Florida over West Georgia, 74-55. College Hill Classic, Brown over New Hampshire, 76-58. Loyola Chicago over Princeton, 73-68. Manhattan over Fordham, 78-76. BC over Temple, 72-69. Butler over SMU, 81-70. Rock Hill Classic, Georgia Southern over NC Central, 80-75. Hall of Fame Series in Baltimore, Penn State over Virginia Tech, 86-64. Number 10, North Carolina over American, 107-55. Number 15, Marquette over Maryland, 78-74. Memphis over Ohio, 94-70. Northwestern over Eastern Illinois, 67-58 in overtime. Georgia over Georgia Tech, 77-69. Pitt over West Virginia, 86-62. Big 5 campus game, St. Joe's over Penn, 86-79 or 69. Iowa over Wazoo, 76-66. SoCon Sun Challenge, Stanford over North Alabama, 97-96 in OT. Number 4, Gonzaga over UMass Lowell, 113-54. Wisconsin over number 9, Arizona, 103-88. Number 23, Texas A&M over number 21, Ohio State, 78-64. DePaul over Duquesne, 84-58. Oregon State over Fullerton, 70-51. And UCLA over Lehigh, 85-45. All right, and then Saturday, notable results. Number 6, Duke over Wofford, 86-35. Greenbrier tip-off, River Division, third place game. VMI over Charleston Southern, 80-69. Bucknell over Richmond, 80-76 in double overtime. Seton Hall over Wagner, 54-28. Skip Procer Classic, Xavier over Wake, 75-60. Syracuse over Youngstown State, 104-95 in double overtime. Notre Dame over Georgetown, 84-63. Missouri State over Tulsa, 111-106 in triple overtime. Radford over Evansville, 92-81. Indiana State over Ball State, 94-84. Oklahoma over Stetson, 85-64. Big 5 campus game was Sal over Drexel, 71-68. Greenbrier tip-off championship, Texas over Graham over Tennessee Tech, 83-58. Number 16, Indiana over South Carolina, 87-71. Arkansas State over Stephen F. Austin, 59-49. Rice over Northwestern State, 77-75 in OT. Vandy over Jackson State, 94-81. BYU over Idaho, 95-71. Bronco Classic, SAU Edwards over Kenesha, 76-58. Abilene Christian over Texas State, 72-60. Number 25, Ole Miss over Colorado State, 84-69. Murray State over Middle Tennessee, 88-67. Toledo over Detroit, 82-67. St. Bonaventure over Lemoyne, 71-52. East Carolina over George Mason, 78-77 in double overtime. Little Rock over UTSA, 81-64. Minnesota over Yale, 59-56. Sacred Heart over New Hampshire, 80-63 in College Hill Classic. Davidson over East Tennessee State, 76-70. Rock Hill Classic, Georgia Southern over Winthrop, 89-87. Providence over Green Bay, 79-65. Texas over Mississippi Valley State, 89-43. Portland over Long Beach State, 63-61. Number 1, Kansas over Oakland, 78-57. Atlantic Slam, Northeastern over Central Connecticut, 80-62. Michigan State over Bowling Green, 86-72. Field of 68 tip-off, FAU over Liberty, 77-74 in overtime. Number 14, Creighton over Kansas City, 79-56. Purdue Fort Wayne over Southern Indiana, 93-74. Marshall over Belmont, 83-62. College Hill Classic, Holy Cross over Brown, 73-65. Hofstra over UMass, 75-71 in OT. Dayton over Capital, 76-55. VC over Loyola Maryland, 83-57. NC Central over William & Mary, 78-76 in the Rock Hill Classic. Drake over Florida Gulf Coast, 63-61. Towson over JMU, 67-63. Bradley over Northern Illinois, 76-60. St. Louis over Loyola Marymount, 77-71. Wyoming over Utah Tech, 86-69. Bakersfield over Fresno, 74-56. Seattle over UC San Diego, 84-71. Nevada over Santa Clara, 85-59. Sunshine Slam campus game. I'm talking too fast. San Fran over Chicago State, 82-37. And UC Irvine over Pepperdine, 80-62. All right, Sunday results. Number 22, St. John's over New Mexico, 85-71 in the Patino Bowl at the Garden. Rock Hill Classic, William & Mary over Georgia Southern, 102-87. Bronco Classic, Western Michigan over Canisius, 92-69. Urban Bennett, Lindenwood over Stonehill, 75-74. St. Mary's over Nebraska, 77-74. Boise over Clemson, 84-71. Jacksonville State over Coastal Carolina, 71-53. The Metro Jersey New York Classic, Fairleigh Dickinson over Manhattan, 85-82. Miami over Coppin State, 93-63. Colorado over Harvard, 88-66. Rockville Classic, Winthrop over NC Central, 77-75. Number 11, Tennessee over Austin Peay, 103-68. Western Kentucky over Lipscomb, 66-61 in the BBN Invitational. Holy Cross over New Hampshire, 74-72 in the College Hill Classic. Urban Bennett, Robert Morris over New Orleans, 73-62. Mississippi State over Utah, 78-73. Field of 68 tip-off, Liberty over Charleston, 68-47. Stanford over UC Davis, 79-65. Santa Barbara over San Jose State, 64-59. Oregon over Troy, 82-61. Illinois State over Trinity, Illinois, 107-52. College Hill Classic, Brown over Sacred Heart, 89-70. Number 12, Baylor over Tarleton State, 104-41. Arizona State over St. Thomas, 81-66. Calvary, USC, 71-66. Hawaii over Weber State, 73-68 in overtime. And Washington over UMass Lowell, 74-69. All right, and then tonight, 6 o'clock, Big Ten Network, Fort Myers tip-off campus game, Miami, Ohio, Michigan. My line is Michigan by 24. And Michigan is giving 22.5 and the total is 151.5. That's a high total, but the MAC is known for high scoring. So I'm going to go with the over. Next up is Bryant, Delaware on Flow Sports at 6:30. My line's Delaware 3.25. And it's Bryant 3.5, total 159.5. Wrong team's favorite. Give me Delaware plus the points and plus 136 outright. North Texas McNeese at 7. My line is North Texas 1.5. It's McNeese 4.5, total 130.5. I'm taking North Texas in the points and plus 155 outright. Howard FIU. My line's FIU by 12, and it is only 1.5. Total's 158.5. I'm laying the 1.5 with FIU. Colgate, NC State. On the ACC Network, my line's NC State by 21.5. And NC State is favored by 12.5. Totals 149.5. I'll lay the points. American High Point. My line's High Point by 11. And it's 15.5 and 138.5. I'm going to take American in the points. NJIT George Washington. My line's George Washington 24.5. And it's 21.5 and 142.5. I'll lay the points. VMI Pitt. My line is Pitt by 27. And it's 34.5 and 156.5. I'll take VMI in the points. That's a lot. UNC Asheville, North Florida. My line's North Florida as a 3.5 point underdog. And they're favored by 5.5. Totals 155.5. I'll take UNC Asheville plus the 5.5 and plus 220 outright. Monmouth, Wichita State. I have Wichita State by 23.5. And it's 16.5 and 154.5. I'll lay to 16.5 with Wichita State. 7:30 Southeast in Illinois and Yale Monroe. By the way, the Monmouth game is 7:30 as well. My line is Southeast Louisiana by 3. And it's 1.5. Totals 138.5. I'll lay the points on the road. Number 7, Iowa State is hosting IU Indy at 8. My line's Iowa State 33.25. And it's 33.5 and 144.5, or 35.5. So I'm going to go with the over. Pacific at number 18, Arkansas. My line is Arkansas 18.75. And it's 21.5 and 148.5. I'll take Pacific getting the points. North Dakota State, Southern Illinois. My line is Southern by 8. And 6.5 and 153.5. I'm going to go with the over. I don't feel good about it. Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Texas Tech. My line is Tech 40 3/4. And it's 41.5 and 155.5. That's another over. Texas, Rio Grande, Wisconsin, Big Ten Network. Mine's Wisconsin 20.5. It's 21.5 and 154.5. This one, I'm actually going to go with the under. This feels undery to me. Prairie View, SMU. My line's SMU by 28. And it's 31.5 and 161.5. I'm going to take Prairie View getting the points. North Alabama, number 5, Auburn at 9 o'clock on the SEC Network. Mine's Auburn by 27. It's 29.5. Total's 151.5. I'll take North Alabama getting the points. Montana, Utah State on Mountain West Network. My line's Utah State 15.5, and it's 16.5, 151.5. This is going to be I don't feel good about this. I'm going to go with the under. Northern Colorado, Wazoo 9:30. Mine's Wazoo 18.25. It's 12.5, 158.5. I'll lay the points. 10 o'clock, CBS Sports Network. Best game of the night, probably. Number 4, Gonzaga at San Diego State. Mine's Gonzaga 2.5, and it's 11.5 and 151.5. I'm taking San Diego State in the points at home. And then Idaho State, Fullerton. My line is Idaho State by 3.5, and it's Fullerton 3.5. Totals 131.5. I'll take Idaho State plus the 3.5 and plus 140 to win the game straight up. All right, now move on to the NBA. We will recap the games from the weekend and look ahead to tonight in the association. All right, Friday. Playing games. Heat over the Pacers, 124-111. That was Group B, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Magic over the Sixers, 98-86. That was Group A. Pistons over the Raptors, 99-95. That was Group B. Knicks over the Nets, 124-122 on a game-winning shot by Jalen Brunson. That was Group A. Hawks over the Wizards, 129-117. That is Group C. Cavs over the Bulls, 144-126. That is also Group C. And now the Western Conference. Lakers over the Spurs, 120-115. That was West Group B. Rockets over the Clippers, 125-104. That was Group A. Pelicans over the Nuggets, 101-94. Group C. All right, Thunder over the Suns, 99-83. That's a low-scoring game. That was Group B. Warriors over the Grizzlies, 123-118. That's Group C. Yep, I'm right about that. And then T-Wolves over the Kings, 130-126. Overtime. They're Group A. All right, Saturday. Hornets over the Bucks, 115-114. Celtics over the Raptors, 126-123 in OT. Lakers over the Pelicans, 104-99. Mavs over the Spurs, 110-93. Kings over the Jazz, 121-117. And then yesterday's T-Wolves over the Suns, 120-117 on a buzzer beater shot by Julius Randle. Pacers over the 119-110. Cavs over the Hornets, 128-114. Pistons over the Wizards, 124-104. Knicks over the Nets, 114-104. Grizzlies over the Nuggets, 105-90. Blazers over the Hawks, 114-110. Rockets over the Bulls, 143-107. Mavs over the Thunder, 121-99. Or 121-119. Clippers over the Jazz, 116-105. So the Cavs are still undefeated. All right, we have a good amount of games tonight. 7 o'clock, we have the Bulls at the Pistons. The Pistons have been very frisky. There's been a surprise so far this season. They're only one game under 500 to 15. And I have the Pistons by 3/4, still 229 and 11/20. And it is Detroit, 4.5 total, 233.5. So the question is the Bulls or the under. The answer is the Bulls getting the 4 in the hook. Can't believe I'm going against the Pistons. So the Pistons are a favorite. And a rightful favorite, but I think it's too high. 7:30 Sixers Heat. My line is the Heat 8.25, so it's 20 in the fifth. And it's 3 and 2, 12.5. I'm going to lay... I want to lay the points, but Heat -3 and over 212.5 is a good same game parlay, but for the podcast, I'm going to go over 212.5. Wizards Knicks from MSG. My line is the Knicks by 16, total 230 and 3/5, and it's 14 and 231.5. I'm going to lay the 14 with the Knicks. This is expected to be a blowout. No excuses. Pacers Raptors. My line's the Pacers 9.25, total 231 and a fifth, and it's 4 and 233.5. I'm going to lay the 4 with Indiana. 8 o'clock NBA TV, Rockets Bucks. My line is the Rockets 2.25 to 222 and 3/4. And it's Bucks by 3.5 total to 24. I don't get the obsession with the Bucks. They don't have Middleton. They're old. They're not good anymore. The Rockets deserve their respect. Give me the Houston Rockets getting the 3 hook and plus 132 outright. 9 o'clock Magic Suns. My line is the Suns by 1 3/4. Total 237 and 3/10. And it's Orlando by 3.5, total 210. That's because that's an overreaction line to no Durant or Beal. But the Magic are also missing Banchero, guys. Did you guys not forget that? Meaning you guys in terms of the odds makers. I'm going to go with the over, though. 10 o'clock Hawks Kings. My line is the Kings by 5 3/4, so 234 and 3/10. And it's 5 and 236. Closest projections so far tonight, slight under. And last but not least, 10:30 NBA TV, Warriors Clippers. My line is the Warriors by 5, total 225 and 17/20. And that's a better game than we thought it was before the season. And it's 4.5 and 225.5. Another very close one. So, slight lean Golden State. Golden State money line would be a good leg to put in with the Texans tonight. If you want to money line the Texans. All right, now move on to hockey. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to today. I meant to say the weekend. Friday, Jackets over the Pens 6-2, Caps over the Avs 5-2, Flames over the Preds 2-0, Golden Knights over Utah 4-2, Ducks over the Red Wings 6-4. Saturday, Blues over the Bruins 3-2 in overtime, Kraken over the Isles 3-2, Leafs over the Oils 4-3 in OT, Habs over the Blue Jackets 5-1, Lightning over the Devils 4-0, Panthers over the Jets 5-0, Flyers over the Sabres 5-2, Pens over the Sharks 4-3 in a shootout, Canes over the Sens 4-0, Stars over the Wild 2-1, Kings over the Red Wings 4-1, Canucks over the Blackhawks 4-1. And then Sunday, Canes over the Blues 4-1, Caps over the Golden Knights 5-2, Rangers over the Kraken 2-0, and the Preds over the Canucks 5-3. All right, decent amount of games tonight. 7 o'clock, we have the Blue Jackets at the Bruins. The Blue Jackets are just not good. The Bruins have been mediocre by their standards. Bruins minus 225, Columbus plus 184, over under 6.5, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Columbus plus 1.5 is minus 138, Bruins minus 1.5 plus 112. The Bruins need the game. They need to remind people that they're still the Bruins. So I'm going to lay minus 1.5 and plus 112. NHL Network, Avs Flyers. Avs minus 182, Flyers plus 150, over under 6.5, overs minus 124, unders plus 102. Avs minus 1.5 plus 132, Flyers plus 1.5 is minus 162. Same situation. I'm going to lay the puck line with the Avalanche. 7:30 Oilers Habs. Oilers minus 295, Habs plus 235, over under 6.5, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Oilers minus 1.5 is minus 114, Habs plus 1.5 is minus 106. The Canadians have been a little bit more competitive than we thought, but they did get blown out recently. For the third pick in a row, I'm laying the puck line with a favorite. 8 o'clock, Ducks Stars. Stars minus 140, Ducks plus 330, over under 6.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Ducks plus 1.5 is plus 132, Stars minus 1.5 is minus 162. The Ducks are among one of the worst teams in the league. I'm going over 6.5 at even money. 9 o'clock, Caps Utah. Caps minus 13, Utah minus 106, over under 6.5, overs minus, or even money, unders minus 122. Caps minus 1.5 plus 10, Utah plus 1.5 is minus 265. I'm going to go with Utah as a short home dog, minus 106. This is a game that they've fallen off after their good start, so they need this game. And at 10:30, Red Wings Sharks. Red Wings minus 152, Sharks plus 126, over under 6.5. Overs plus 104, unders minus 128. Red Wings minus 1.5 plus 164, Sharks plus 1.5 is minus 205. The Sharks have been a lot better lately since Scalabrini returned. I'm actually going to take them as my plus money underdog tonight. I'm going to take them to upset the Red Wings at plus 126. Okay, now move on to soccer. We'll go over the notable results from the weekend, and honestly, I don't know if we have anything today. So I was right. There was an MLS over the weekend because of the international stuff. So CONCACAF. Weekend's results. Grenada over St. Lucia 4-0. Haiti over St. Marin 8-0. Curacao over St. Martin 5-0. Puerto Rico over Aruba 5-1. Saturday, Bermuda over Antigua Barbuda 2-1. Dominican Republic over Dominica 6-1. Sunday, St. Vincent over Bonaire 3-1. El Salvador over Montserrat 1-0. Handful of games today, 3 o'clock. Grenada and St. Martin. This is Nations Group B. Grenada minus 440, St. Martin is 9-1. The draw is 5-1. I'm going to do over 3.5 goals plus 144. 4 o'clock, Aruba, St. Martin. Aruba plus 135, St. Martin plus 170, draw plus 270. I'm going to say Martin plus 170. Aruba's not good at soccer. 6 o'clock, Curacao, St. Lucia. Curacao minus 5,000 or 500. St. Lucia is plus 950. The draw is 550. We're going to do over 3.5 goals plus 110. And then 7 o'clock is Haiti, Puerto Rico. Haiti minus 430, Puerto Rico 8-1. The draw is plus 550. By the way, all these are Group B. We're going to go over 3.5 goals at minus 102. And we also have quarterfinals, second leg, USA, Jamaica. US leads 1-0 on aggregate. This is Nations Group A. US minus 220, Jamaica's 5-1. The draw is 3-1. US is going to win. It'd be a debacle if they lost. We're going to go over 2.5 goals, minus 114. And then 9 o'clock, Panama, Costa Rica. Panama leads 1-0 on aggregate. Panama minus 115. Costa Rica's 3-1. The draw's plus 230. Kind of like this for Panama. I'm going to take them at minus 115. All right, UEFA. Friday, Cyprus over Lithuania 2-1. Spain over Denmark 2-1. Bulgaria over Luxembourg 1-0. Northern Ireland over Belarus 2-0. Portugal over Poland 5-1. Romania, Kosovo was abandoned. San Marino over and Gibraltar 1-1 draw. Scotland over Croatia 1-0. And Switzerland, Serbia 1-1 draw. Saturday, Azerbaijan, Estonia 0-0 draw. Moldova over Andorra 1-0. Turkey, Wales 0-0 draw. Iceland over Montenegro 2-0. Georgia, Ukraine 1-1 draw. Sweden over Slovakia 2-1. Albania, Czechia 0-0 draw. Netherlands over Hungary 4-0. Germany over Bosnia-Herzegovina 7-0. And then yesterday, Armenia over Latvia 2-1. North Macedonia over Faroe Islands 1-0. Greece over Finland 2-0. Norway over Kazakhstan 5-0. Austria, Slovenia 1-1 draw. England over Republic of Ireland 5-0. Israel over Belgium 1-0. And France over Italy 3-1. A lot of games today. 2:45 Croatia, Portugal. Croatia plus 150, Portugal plus 180, draw plus 220. Portugal plus 180 is the pick. Bulgaria, Belarus. I don't even see that one posted. I'm going to say Bulgaria wins. Kosovo, Lithuania. Kosovo minus 340, Lithuania plus 750, draw plus 380. Under 2.5 goals, minus 106. Spain, Switzerland. Spain minus 260, Switzerland plus 650, draw plus 370. Over 3.5 goals, plus 150. Serbia, Denmark. This is going to be a good one. Serbia, plus 160. Denmark, plus 175. Draw, plus 210. I'm going with the draw, plus 210. Romania, Cyprus. Romania, minus 480. Cyprus, 12-1. The draw's plus 450. We're going to do Alexandru Matrida, anytime goal scorer, plus 115. That would be a fun little same gamer. But the pick is under 2.5 goals, plus 108. Poland, Scotland. Poland plus 140, Scotland plus 90, draws plus 220. I'm going with Poland plus 140. Luxembourg, Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland minus 125. Luxembourg's 4-1, the draws 2-1. We are going to go with the draw at 2-1. And 245, Liechtenstein, San Marino. Liechtenstein minus 140, San Marino's plus 440, draw plus 220. We're going to go with over 2.5 goals at plus 198. All right, now we'll do AFCON. Friday, South Africa over Uganda 2-0. Botswana, Mauritania 1-1 draw. Zimbabwe, Kenya 1-1 draw. Zambia over Ivory Coast 1-0. Mali over Mozambique 1-0. Eswatini, Guinea-Bissau 1-1 draw. Cape Verde, Egypt 1-1 draw. Angola, Ghana 1-1 draw. Comoros over Gambia 2-1. Morocco over Gabon 5-1. Saturday, Tanzania over Ethiopia 2-0. Guinea over Congo DR 1-0. And then yesterday, Algeria over Liberia 5-1. And Togo, Ecuador, Guinea 3-0. And then this morning, Malawi and over Burkina Faso 3-0. Right today at 11 o'clock, Sudan and Angola. Angola plus 125, Sudan plus 230, draw plus 160, and go with Angola plus 125. Nigeria, Rwanda. Nigeria minus 320, Rwanda 7-1, the draws plus 320. Over 2.5 goals plus 120. Libya, Benin. Benin plus 160, Libya plus 175, draw plus 95. I'm going to go with Benin plus 160. Ghana, Niger. Ghana minus 150, Niger 4-1, the draws plus 250. Over 2.5 goals plus 110. 2 o'clock, Tunisia, Gambia. Tunisia minus 260, Gambia plus 575, the draws 3-1. Over 2.5 goals plus 110. Morocco, Lesotho. Morocco minus 2,500. Lesotho 28-1, the draws 11-1. Under 3.5 goals minus 105. Comoros, Madagascar. Comoros plus 120, Madagascar plus 230, draw 2-1. I'm going with Comoros plus 120. And Central African Republic in Gabon. Gabon's minus 120. CTA's plus 310, the draws plus 240. I'm going with the draw at plus 240. Now I'm going to move on to golf really quickly and go over the results from the Bermuda Championship. So you're a winner with the score of 19 under, Roger Campos. Second, 16 under, Andrew Novak. Tied for third with 15 under, Mark Hubbard and Adrian DeMonte Chazard. Tied for fifth at 14 under, Sam Ryder, Justin Lauer, Vincent Whaley. Eighth with 13 under, Ben Griffin. Tied for ninth with 12 under, Patrick Rogers, Grayson Singh, David Slipsky. Tied for 12th with 11 under, Joseph Bridgman, Michael Kim, Pearson Cootie, Troy Merritt, and Lucas Griffin. Tied for 17th with 10 under, Wesley Bryan, Grayson Higo, Rico Hoey, Wesley Bryan, Always had him already. Matt McNeely, Francesco Arnari, Robbie Shelton. Tied for 23rd with 9 under. Ryan Moore, Brandon Wusi, Miss Power, Nate Watney, Trevor Whitney, and Crystal Lamprecht. Tied for 29th with 8 under. Kevin Kistner, Nicholas Echevarria, Joseph Burlett, and Alex Smalley, Rio Hisatune, Chad Ramey, Tyler Duncan, and YC Yuan. Tied for 37th with 7 under. Martin Laird, William McGirt, Callum Tarrant, Harry Springer, Trevor Crow. Tied for 42nd with 6 under. S.H. Kim, Lucas Glover, Richie Wierenski, David Skins, Kevin Doherty. Tied for 47th with 5 under. Will Gordon, Ben Taylor, Dylan Wu, Chester Reed, Kevin Chappell, Tyson Alexander, Camilo Vegas, and Norman Zong. Tied for 55th with 4 under. Russell Knox and Austin Svedlin. Tied for 57th with 3 under. Henrik Norlander, Brendan Todd, Ben Coles, Jonathan Vegas, and Matthias Schmid is 61st with 2 under. Tied for 62nd with 1 under. Samuel No, Daniel Berger, and Carson Young. Tied for 65th at even. Connor Jones and Hayden Buckley. Tied for 67th at 1 over. Scott Stevens, Ben Hill Jr., Mackenzie Hughes. Tied for 70th with 2 over. Robert Shrev, Alex Bodley. 73rd with 5 over. Ben Crane. And among those cut, Doug Gibb, Scott Piercy withdrew, Sean O'Hare, Nate Hardy, Kevin Yu, Nate Taylor, Peter Muldowney, Cam Champ, Brent Snecker, Ken Booley, Kelly Kraft, Joel Dahlman, Alondra Totsi, Kevin Strowman, Matt Trainer, Ryan McCormick, Wilfer withdrew, MJ Dauphe withdrew, Paul Bargen withdrew, Raul Pareto got disqualified, Austin Cook, Adam Putnam, Roger Sloan, Kevin Tway, Robert Brett, Matt Neesmith, Nate Lashley, Zach Blair, Justin Sue, James Hahn, D8 points, Eric Barnes, and that's it for the Butterfield Bermuda Championship results. Next up is the RSM Classic from Seattle Resort and Plantation Course and others. That will be this weekend coming up. All right, now move on to the news and notes for today. I'm going to try to be very quick here. The biggest story this morning involves my favorite football team. It was inedible. The Giants have benched Daniel Jones, but they are turning to Tommy DeVito instead of Drew Lock. Some may say that Tommy DeVito gives them a better chance to win games, but at the same time, you could argue that about Drew Lock, because we saw that when he filled in for Geno Smith last year on Seattle, where he helped them win a game. Or that might have been the year before. So maybe that's what they think. But I think DeVito will keep them competitive. I don't think they're going to win games with DeVito. Maybe they'll pick off the Cowboys on Thanksgiving or whatever because the Cowboys don't have Dak, but it'd be like one of those types of situations. Yeah, you knew this was coming. The injury guarantee and his performance are the reason for his benching. It's the same thing what happened with Russell Wilson last year, except Russell Wilson wasn't that bad last year. You know Daniel Jones has probably played his last down as a Giant, as Adam Schefter said last week. And the other question is, what did they do at quarterback? Do they draft one? Or do they sign a random free agent that could be like their version of Geno Smith or Baker Mayfield and kind of just be competitive right away, or just develop a rookie like how the Colts are doing with Anthony Richardson and what the Bears are doing with Caleb Williams. And Denver, Bo Nix, although they're pretty good, and same with Washington with Jaden Daniels. But sometimes if you get the right rookie quarterback, you're good right away. Just see Washington and even Denver. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. You knew it was coming. And Joe Shane, by the way, was at Utah, Colorado. Obviously, watching Shader and Travis Hunter. Joe Burrow had a blunt quote, which sums up their 4-7 season. And Burrow was actually on the wrong side of league history. He has lost 3 games this season, which he had 3+ touchdowns, 300+ passing yards, and no picks. The most such losses in a season in the Super Bowl era. That's very brutal. That says more about the team than him. LeBron says that Stephon Castle is special. That's high praise. Brusdar Graterol will miss the first half of the season after undergoing shoulder surgery. That's not great for the Dodgers. John Jones knocks out Miocic to reclaim heavyweight title in the UFC 309 main event. And Stipe Miocic is actually retiring after losing to John Jones. There was a crowd chant towards Richard Pitino at the Garden, and Rick Pitino had to quiet the crowd after trolling his son. He didn't like that. I almost said Jock Peterson because I had baseball in my head. Doug Peterson was asked about his job security. By the time we're doing tomorrow's podcast, I don't think he's been coaching the Jaguars. And then Anthony Richardson ended up getting the starting job back, as the Colts were actually against benching Flacco, as his poor performance prompted Indy to reverse course and start Richardson, which was the right call. It was a bad decision to start Flacco. Aaron Rodgers may not return to the Jets. There's no guarantee he sticks with the Jets next season. The Jets drama is just going to be away at one point. They can thank Daniel Jones and the Giants for it for at least one day, because this story ain't going away. Because the Giants kind of took the spotlight from them today. I mean, you knew that was coming. So, coaching stuff. Bill Belichick is eyeing a 2025 return, as he wants to be coaching in the league next season. And then Mike Vrabel is a head coach favorite in 2025, as he's getting most hype around the league for a job next year. The Pats released former second-round pick Tyquan Thornton. Geez, the Belichick drafts before he left were so bad. Caleb Williams apologizes to the team as he took blame for Bears' struggles in meeting after Shane Waldron's firing. And the Bears intend to get Caleb Williams back to the basics under the new offensive coordinator. And that offense actually looked good yesterday. It's just that they missed a field goal at the end of the game. Or the field goal was blocked. There's nothing you can do about a blocked field goal. Ref confirms no Giannis foul, as pool report states that Giannis didn't make illegal contact, which led to LaMelo Ball's game-winning free throws. Anthony Edwards fined $35,000 for obscene gesture. LaMelo was fined $100,000 for offensive and derogatory comment in post-game interview on Saturday. The LTM report says that Jason Tatum traveled on his game winner as he slid his pivot foot before releasing his dribble against the Raptors. Doc Rivers fined $25,000 for criticizing officials after the Hornets loss. Michael Penix Jr. saw some time against the Broncos during that blowout. Nick Bosa has a new oblique injury as he's dealing with injury on both sides and can miss time. That's brutal for the Niners. Bad news for the Lions. Alex Anzalone out 6 to 8 weeks with a broken forearm. Could return for the playoffs. That's not great, but it's not catastrophic like how I think Aiden Hutchinson's loss was. George Kittle unlikely to play, or he didn't play against the Seahawks. Karl-Anthony Towns didn't play against the Nets on Friday night, but he did play yesterday. Inside, the NBA lives on as TNT Sports and the NBA reached an agreement, so that's pretty good. The Dallas Wings won the Paige Becker sweepstakes over the weekend, so that is awesome. Sue Bird and Sylvia Fowles among those in the Hall of Fame for 2025. Luka Doncic did not play yesterday against the Thunder. Wemby sat out against the Mavs. Second of a back-to-back with the right knee contusion. And how cocky are the Cavs? Donovan Mitchell didn't play on Sunday for rest. They still won that game. And they're still undefeated. I just think that was a little arrogant and cocky of them to rest Donovan Mitchell. don't play him when he's hurt. DeAndre Ayton had a finger contusion as he didn't play against the Hawks. So, Florida trolls Brian Kelly as the Gators admitted concerns what was coming next. Indiana extends Kurt Signetti significantly increased pay and mid 10-0 start. That's a great extension for Indiana. Coming down right now, Gabe Davis believed to have suffered a meniscus tear on Sunday. Why is he a standout receiver? I don't call Gabe Davis a standout receiver. He only had one great moment in his whole freaking career, which he had that 4-touchdown game against the Chiefs. In a game which is simply known as the 13 seconds game. The Mets met with Juan Soto as the Mets are considered a favorite to land Soto after the meeting went extremely well. The Royals are eyeing Jonathan India as they're one of several hitters that the team is eyeing. Luis Severino declining qualifying offer as the deadline's tomorrow. Nick Martinez took the 1 year, $21.5 million qualifying offer, which is crazy. And then USC flips 5-star Texas A&M quarterback as they get commitment from Husan Longstreet amid losing Julian Lewis. So there you have it for the news and notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. Okay, so there's a couple of games that I'm considering, but I'm going to go to college basketball for best bet. And there's a couple I liked in college basketball tonight. And yours truly decided to go with UNC Asheville getting 5.5 against North Florida. That number's too high. I understand it's Big South at A-Sun, but I'm going to lay a 50th of a unit on it. So I'm going to do UNC Asheville plus 5.5 at minus 118 against North Florida for my best bet of the day. So there you have it for the show, and I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything, look at everything tomorrow as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.